Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Leone in for Nancy O'Neill this week. Welcome to Suncoast FYI. Joining me today are Chuck Stevens with the Van Wezel, Marcus Braz and Dr. Tonya Stevenson with Health South, and Jacqueline Rogers and Roberto Borgatti from the Classical Music Celebration. We also have an extended interview with actor Tony Danza, who was here on the Suncoast last week, performing at the Sarasota Opera House, all next on Suncoast FYI. The Van Wezel is a Suncoast staple, and it's a thrill to catch any of their great shows. Chuck Stevens, the Van Wezel Director of Marketing, joins us today to talk about some of the upcoming shows and concerts that you can't miss.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us today. So you guys recently, I want to talk about this first, the Van Wezel Foundation's annual gala. Tell us about it. It seemed like it was a huge success.
Simply the most successful one they have ever had, both financially and attendance-wise. Barry Manilow, who's never played houses this small, we only have 1,740 seats, came in and brought his entire Las Vegas act, 8 trucks of equipment for this thing, blew the entire audience away. It was so good. And the fundraising that came off of that was just incredible for the education plans at the Van Wezel. So it's a terrific evening. You should not have missed it.
I know. Well, congratulations to you guys on that, that's for sure. Now, we always talk about what's coming up because you guys always do such a great job of bringing acts in. What's coming up for the next season? Oh,
the next season is probably the most powerful season that has been booked there. We have, our Broadway season includes 3 weeks. We've never done more than 1 week of a Broadway show before. 3 weeks of The Lion King, making its premiere here in Sarasota.
Amazing.
Then add it, one of my favorite musicals from New York lately, On Your Feet, the Gloria and Emilio Estefan musical.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, I cannot dance worth a lick, but I was on my feet the entire time, badly dancing, but having so much fun doing it. And we have a number of other shows that are, Rent is coming back, and King and I is coming back, Sound of Music. It's a terrific season, and we have some great concerts. We got the Boston Pops coming back again this year, the Israeli Philharmonic with Leonard's, Zubin Mehta on his final concert tour.
Oh, wow.
And we have great dance as well. Yeah.
It sounds like a great upcoming season. I know folks always wait to the announcement that they can get tickets. When can they start thinking about these shows and actually getting their hands on them? I'm sure they're going to go fast.
They should start thinking now because we're in subscriptions on all of them, and our subscriptions are running dramatically ahead of the last 3 years. We're selling a lot, I think, probably because of The Lion King is the engine behind it all. So the best way to guarantee the best seats is get subscriptions. Otherwise, we'll be announcing our full season with all our single one nights of comics and singers, and Frankie Valli, I believe, is coming back. All that is coming. That'll be announced at the end of August for sales to go on sale after Labor Day. Okay, so that's the plan.
But how, this is just such a great eclectic, you always put in just a great eclectic group of shows. What goes into selecting
It's literally a nightmare that I'm glad I'm not totally involved in, except from the marketing point of view. Right now, our executive director, Mary Benzel, has finished booking this season, although she's still adding shows for this year. She's booking next season, she's still adding shows. She's booking 18-19, 19-20, and 20-21. If you go in her office, there's shows listed on all of those. And she then goes to New York to see all the Broadway shows. She goes up in a week to see about 12 shows while she's there to be able to predict whether they'll work for Sarasota when they go out on the road. So it's a jigsaw puzzle that would have me pulling out my hair. I'm proud that it's her job. I just get asked, can you sell the darn thing?
Well you should have no problem, so I know that we talk about the shows and whatnot, but a lot of folks have been worried as of late because of the Bay Plan and what the plans are for the Van Wezel. So what have you guys heard of? Where are we at with that?
Well, I think the first consideration that everyone needs to remember is that the land and the building are both city-owned. I, in point of fact, for the first time in my life, I'm a government employee. I work for the city. And any decision about what happens with the Van Wezel will be determined by the city commissioners and the town managers. There are a lot of plans out there at this point. What will happen is there will be a new performance arts center or hall. We're trying to do it with the Sarasota Orchestra at the same time and make a big center. But the Van Wezel is going to be incorporated into it some way. The thing for everybody to remember is it will not be torn down tomorrow. It will not be torn down next week. While they're building that, we need to keep operating. We need to keep bringing product in and selling tickets and keeping our audiences engaged. The Van Wezel will live through all that process, and then decisions were made on repurposing it is probably the best word to use on it.
Okay, and then we also have to worry about it. That's down the road, but right around the corner seems to be some construction around there, namely roundabouts.
Oh, thank you, Florida State Department of Transportation. Yes, they're building roundabouts on 10th. They're putting another one in at Avenue of the Arts and another one in Fruitville. I'm thinking about retiring and leaving town.
But folks will still be able to get to
They
you
still
guys,
will be,
yeah.
and our website will always have information about it, and they can always call our information lines for more information. The best thing I think to prepare for, and most of our audience is good at this, is leave an extra 15 minutes early to get there.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So it's not going to be that big a deal.
Okay, so a lot to think about there, but again, no problem getting there. And right now,
No.
we're talking about what's going on still this season, Friday Fest.
Well, the Friday Fest, our first one is, because I can never remember the dates, we have June 22nd is Jaw Movement, which is one of the favorites. It always sells out. Last year, I think we had 4,500 people.
Wow.
Free to the public. Bring your seats. There's food trucks there to serve you. It's a great evening.
It is.
Seeing the Bay, that's the way you want to see a performance
Exactly.
with the Bay.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you very
today.
much. Thank you.
All right. Well, next on Suncoast FYI, we take a look at Stroke Awareness Month and what you can do to live a healthy life.